Welcome to Go Lurk Yourself, a podcast about streaming and playing video games on the internet. My name is Crunky.
I'm the Sunny D.
Hey, Sunny D, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Long-time listeners of the podcast know Sunny D and I are married. We've done a few episodes together. She's was kind enough to come in here today and play Astral Chain and tell us about it.
Oh, it's a great game.
Hang on, don't go off on a tangent yet. For those of you guys who don't know, Astral Chain is a new action game developed by Platinum Games, published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. It's directed by Takahisa Tora, who was previously the lead game designer for Nier Automata, which I loved, under supervision by Devil May Cry and Bayonetta series creator Hideki Kamiya. I apologize if I butchered these names. I'm not a native Japanese speaker, so I get a lot of these wrong. Characters designs from manga artist Masakazu Katsura, and it was released on August 30th, 2019. How many hours have you put in it in the last 3 days, Dee?
I have probably put at least 16 hours into this game now.
Nice. Well, as you know, Dee, you listen to the podcast every week. We normally talk about what we've been playing lately. I think I know what you've been playing lately.
Yes.
Just Astral Chain, and you also played some Siege, right?
Yeah, I played Siege, and I'm also playing Fire Emblem, Three Houses.
Oh yeah, you're still playing Fire Emblem, which College has been threatening to come back on the podcast and record an episode with us about that one. He's played through 2 of the campaigns so far, I think.
Oh, he played through another one? Wow, that's
great.
Yeah,
he took a trip to Denver, so he had to do a lot of he had a lot of flying and a lot of downtime. He took a Switch and played it on there.
Nice. I can't wait to get to the other houses. I'm only going through the Black Eagle house right now. So.
Well, I have been playing a lot of. I've still been playing some Doom, trying to finish that out, playing some PUBG, but I've mostly been preoccupied with building a second PC for streaming, which has been a bit of a challenge to get set up. If you guys are streamers and listening to this, I'll give you a real quick rundown of how it works. Special shout out to twitch.tv/RomeoG, all one word, ROMEOG, who helped me set up a streaming software between 2 computers that streams the video and audio over the network called NDI. That's in the letter N, D, and I, and it's basically allows you to capture the software, capture with OBS on your gaming machine, but not actually encode it, and ships the audio and video over to your second machine that you can dedicate with a good graphics, good processor, just to encode the stream. And I played PUBG tonight on 1080p 60, and a couple of audio sync issues early on, but it looks really, really good. What do you say, Dee?
Oh yeah, it looks great, and it was much better than that. It's like just slight on the audio display.
And I've since figured that out. Basically, it wasn't an audio issue. It was my Logitech camera was not set up correctly. I didn't have the right drivers, so the video was actually being lagged.
Oh,
the audio was
okay.
coming through timely, but the video was lagged behind, so it was out of sync. But I fixed that, so we should be good to go now. But it's definitely an undertaking, and some of it was a little harder for me to deal with than it should have been, because instead of like just adding a second computer, I took the best components from both computers I had available and made a gaming rig that was more powerful, and I put the leftover components, because it doesn't need to be as beefy of a system to stream from. I put those in, and so I had all these complications of having to put up one processor and another motherboard and moving RAM around and graphics cards, and I had some heat issues and voltage issues from this. It had been a long time since I set up a gigabyte motherboard, and there's a couple things when overclocking that I just didn't know about, or had to relearn.
Yeah, the game looks great though when you played it tonight.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with it. I got a 6-kill chicken dinner where the last guy, it was me and the last guy that had him pinned behind a tree, and each time he popped out, I was pelting him with what did I have, a Vector, I think?
Yeah.
And every time he just stood there and died the blue as the blue came in. He was so low on health. I think he went to med, and the blue just nicked him once, and he dropped dead. I call that a ghost chicken dinner when you don't even get the last kill, but you win.
Oh man, I think you would have gotten it though.
Yeah, I hope so. Actually, I'm going to edit together a little highlight video after we're done recording.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So, other than that, have you played anything else lately?
Other than Siege, no.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that patch to come out. That's for sure.
do we have a date on that? That we talked about it the last time when we played the test server.
I've heard it's either going to be next week or the week after.
Ah, okay. So
That's
there's
speculation,
some time to cook, I guess. Usually it's like a week or two and they're on it. So, if you guys don't know much about Astral Chain, let me give you a little bit of an idea about it. Like if you've played Nier Automata or Bayonetta or even Persona, it definitely has the platinum staple of being super stylized, cartoony, and over the top action adventure game. And this one they've added the actual titular Astral Chain is you get a companion. You're a cop, and you get you're in charge of busting up these this as part of a police task force called Neuron. You're charged with getting rid of these like spirits or are they aliens? D or are they spirits?
They're called chimeras. They're actually
Interdimensional beings.
Yes, that's it. Sorry, aliens.
So only certain people can see these, and you get your own little person called they're not called stands like in JoJo. They're called legions.
Legions.
Yeah, Neuron officers are able to summon tethered familiars known as legions, bound by a chain. Obviously, that's the Astral Chain. Legions come in various different forms and spotting different abilities used for puzzle solving and combat, which includes sword-based, long-range attacks, a canine version. Player can actually ride around on like a horse and track sense. So a lot of variety of gameplay, a lot of high stylized action. I've watched quite a bit of D and Chichen play this, and it looks great. I can't wait to play it. D was nice enough to take it off my hands for me since I had too much going on. I had some family in the hospital this week and spent a bunch of work crap and spending my off hours like actually fixing these computers. I really didn't have a lot of spare time, but D was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and play that and report to you about the podcast. Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I'll try it out. Sure.
So it takes place in the year 2078, right, D?
Yes.
And the remnants of human populace have retreated to a megacity called the Ark.
Yes.
On a man-made
Correct.
island. So tell us a little bit about your experience so far. How's it been?
It's been great. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever played a game quite like this because I watched you play through Bayonetta and Nier Automata. Action is a lot like Bayonetta, I would compare it to. And then some of the things from Nier Automata's in there.
Okay.
Some of some of the menus can kind of compare to each other.
Makes
but
sense.
it's just, it's such a beautiful game. I've never seen a game like this, this style before. And I think it's one of those things that comes out on the Switch. When it came out on the Switch, they're saying it's like one of the best looking games on there right now. And I think like 10 years from now, you're going to be able to play it and it's going to be still look as beautiful as it does.
Definitely went for more of a style over realism. Sort of like everyone knows the old story now of Wind Waker, how Wind Waker has aged way better than any other game of that era because it was sort of like World of Warcraft. People are playing WoW Classic right now, which we notably are not. But because the art style was stylized, cartoony looking, it doesn't age as poorly as like when PS2 tried to go realistic. Now we look at it, we laugh at it, it's all polygonal, boxy looking.
Yes. You're definitely not going to say that about this game. That's for sure. Yeah, Platinum did beautiful job on the artwork, and the music goes very well with this game. And I've just had a blast playing it. As you said, you play as a cop, and there's twins. You've got a twin brother or twin sister, depending on which one you want to play as. And there's something special about them. Of course, I won't spoil any of the story, but basically you're in this special, I'm trying to think of the name. The Neurons is what it's called. Yeah. Neuron Police Force. And a lot of them have the special abilities to have these legions. There's got to be something special about them for them to be able to control them. and
Like the chosen one kind of deal.
yeah, like the chosen one. Because I guess your dad in this game is the captain pretty much of these neurons, and as his kids, there's something special about them. So they're saying that you're going to do these great things, and they give you your first legion, which is the Sword Legion, which I've come attached to. I usually, for some reason, have been picking that one to play. I've got 4 of them now.
Wow.
I've got the Sword Legion, the Archer Legion, which is the long range one. The Brawler, he's like this fighting guy, and you can also wear him as like a suit of armor.
Like a mech suit from Alien.
Pretty much. It's like if you have an obstacle on the ground that you normally wouldn't be able to go over, he floats, so you can go over it without hurting yourself. So it's kind of cool. And then I've got the Beast Legion. As you said, you can ride it around. It kind of reminds me of Voltron.
Yeah, because you ride on his back and he looks like a dog.
Yes.
Or I guess more of a cat, right?
Well, he looks like he's actually is a dog.
Oh.
I did figure that out.
Did he hike his leg and piss on a fire hydrant?
No, but he can track things down. It's really kind of cool. You give him items like these scents, and he'll track down things for you, like people or things people have lost.
Oh.
So that's been kind of cool.
So is the game more like a linear level that you just go through, or is it an open world? What kind of game is it?
It's more of a linear. They block you off. They
Sort
kind
of
of
like Bayonetta in that regard.
Yes. The areas are very big though.
Okay.
They're kind of like it. You go into like different parts of the towns, and there's a lot of like a square, pretty much. You can go around, and it takes you have different missions you can do, or actually they're called cases, since you are a cop.
Right.
So you've got the red files, which is your main storyline missions, and then you've got your blue files, which are your sub missions. It's been fun. I thought I'd gone through this level and found everything, but then it shows you at the end what you found or not. I'm like, oh, I missed some people to talk to, I guess, because your side missions can just pop out of nowhere, and they're kind of fun. It's like something cops would help out with. Like this girl got lost from her mother, so I helped her find her mother. I saved this girl's balloon for some reason.
Help me get my balloon, mommy.
So they're small missions, but they make an impact a little bit. Of course, you get experience points from them also. So it's kind of, it's fun.
Well, that sounds good. When you fight, when I watched you in the action scenes, you actually are chained to your legion, and you do combo moves with them. It looks like, is the combat like button combos? Is it all shoulder buttons? How does the actual combat work?
There are combos in it. Yes, usually when you get your legion out, you send them forth, which it took me a little while to get used to, because you have to use the ZL and the ZR button.
Okay.
To like
Left and
bring
right
your
triggers
legion.
if you don't play Switch.
Oh yeah, the triggers. Yeah, you use the trigger buttons to bring your legion out and then send them out to the enemy. And then you also, you can either, you've got your weapon's a baton. It either turns into a sword, pretty much, or it turns into a gun. So you can do long range or up close combat with it.
I'm sorry, do you actually control the Legion as well when he's out there? Or does he kind of fight on his own once you throw him out?
He fights on his own.
Okay.
You can make him do specific things, like as you said, you're connected to him by a chain, so you can wrap it around the enemy and keep him like entwined for a minute. He'll stop, and you could just well on him.
Nice.
And then you can set up special abilities for your Legion and set those off at the same time.
Like with just a button press and it makes him do an attack?
Yes. And the Legions also have the ability to help you solve puzzles. Like my Sword Legion, there's certain like energy lines that you might be able to cut. So something will, like a platform will come down, or you have to get through a special wall. You touch a button and you have to line him up. So he uses his sword to cut through it. So there's in like the archer does the same thing. You touch a certain button and he like you can focus and help him shoot to where you need it to go.
So is the game, as you play through it, is it more like action based, and then there's a cutscene at the end of the level, or are there cutscenes in the level, or how's the story laid out? Do you do a lot of reading in it, or is it all voice acted?
I wish it was voice acted. I've said this I said this on my stream.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and there's voice acting in it. It's pretty much the main characters though. It's not like the side missions or anything like that. You have to read everything. And Fire Emblem kind of got me spoiled because everything in that is voice acted.
So what you're saying, if I heard you right, is there are cutscenes in between the missions with the main characters that are voice acted?
Yes, correct.
But like if you're out and about in a world and you're doing side missions, that's all text.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You do have to read quite a bit, but as I said, the side missions are just something fun, and of course the submissions. You actually, if you're doing your main mission, the main story mission, you have to collect clues.
Oh.
You have to talk to different people in that little area, and they'll give you like certain words that you take and you put in your notebook. And then when you go to your cutscene where you've gotten to the point where you can pretty much solve your case, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
They'll ask you certain questions. One of the other main characters will be like, well, we figured this out from this person because they saw this certain ability or this certain area. And you have to answer from your little notebook what you thought they saw.
So it's kind of like a Professor Layton or Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney kind of gameplay in as well.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's kind of like a mystery solving action game.
That's cool. So has there been anything about the game that's like surprised you? Like, are you surprised that you enjoy it? Are there things about it that you wish, oh man, it's great, but I wish they would have put this in here or anything like that?
I wish they had done more voice acting.
Yeah.
I think that would have been really good for the game. But I'm actually surprised how much I love just going through the story and going through and finding people to talk to.
Yeah.
Some of the little submissions I just didn't expect liking as much as I did. So the story to me has been just as great an impact as the battle system. Because as I said, you kind of go through that little story part of it, and then you hit the battle pretty much.
Oh, okay. So you saw Nier. This is a futuristic game? Is the story like, just people versus the chimeras? Is that what they're called? Chimeras. Is it just like, are they an existential threat to humanity and you're saving the world, or is it more personal story? What is your feedback on the story?
You're pretty much saving the world.
Okay.
You're pretty much the only one that can actually see some of these chimeras, and they're trying to destroy our world. Oh, wow. So yeah, you're the only one that can actually save it.
So they're the evil kind of interdimensional beings, not the good kind.
Yes, exactly.
They're not benevolent.
They're not.
Well, who would you recommend this game for? Is there somebody out there that or a type of gamer that you would say should stay away from it or shouldn't stay away from it?
No, I would say anybody that's kind of interested in it is action packed. Once you get into the action, it's very action packed, but you do have to go through, as I said, finding out the mystery, and you do have to go through some of those submissions or sub cases, I guess you could say, to get to the main story. But I enjoyed it. Even though there were a few slow parts with that, getting through the story, getting to the story cutscenes and everything. It's caught me off guard how good the story actually is. That's why I don't want to give away too many spoilers about it.
Right.
And Platinum did do this, which I think is great for somebody that doesn't want like this huge challenge. They just want to see the story and maybe do the mystery solving part. They've made it where you can pick where you just play through the story pretty much. All the battles will be automated for you. I'm not on that mode, but they did put that mode in there. I'm on the casual mode. And then, of course, they have the ultimate mode if you just want to kill yourself over and over again. I wish the casual one, I do have to admit, I wish that one was a little harder. But then I'm like, oh, maybe I should play the ultimate. And I'm like, no.
You're not ready to go for the super difficulty curve yet?
Yes. But what is nice, though, is that you can replay the file. If you want to try to do the harder part of it, because really the campaign's only supposed to be 18 to 20 hours long, but they've got that replayability where you can keep on going back to the file and trying different difficulty levels, because you can get outfits, you can collect items, you can upgrade all your legions. You don't actually upgrade yourself except for it's like an automatic thing. Your health will go up and everything at the end of your chapter, pretty much.
Yeah.
But you actually do put ability points into each of your legion that you can do, and then also your baton. You can put you get upgraded materials that you can upgrade through the game.
Well, that sounds like it's pretty good. It sounds like it's going to have some lasting appeal. I've always said that I'd rather have a really good short game than a mediocre long game, because, especially as we get older and we're streamers, we talk about video games. I don't have time for a Skyrim level game where, yeah, it's probably got about 20 to 40 hours of amazing content. There's also a lot of just walking around and stuff that just gets in the way.
Yeah, I agree.
So the reception of this so far has been pretty good. Metacritic has it right now at 87 out of 100, based on 56 reviews, saying that it's generally favorable reviews. Eurogamer said that it was basically an essential ranking, so you needed to play it. Platinum Games' best game to date is what Eurogamer said. It's like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not ready to say go on that. I haven't played it yet, though, so I don't have a dog in that fight. But what did you think about having a silent protagonist? Some of the reviews basically said having a silent protagonist was a weak point of the game.
I can agree with that because, of course, I picked the sister to play. Mm-hmm. And as you said, she's got expressions on her face, but that's about it. There's no voice there.
Yeah.
And I think they could have done really well because her brother, I really like him. He's got a very good personality and it comes out very well. The voice actor is very good. And I do kind of wish she did have that voice.
No, I read about this. If you started out as him, she is fully acted and has a character and voice acting and everything.
Oh yes, that's true.
So yeah, so it's like I think that's what these critics are saying too, is that the fact that everything else is so well done makes it stand out even more. That your character is silent.
Yes, and I mean you do see this in these type of games where, well, except for Nier Automata. Now I think about it, you played through that, and each character that you played through had its own voice, which was very special.
That game also was lukewarm reviews and was criticized for being too short.
Oh,
but it's aged very well. It was my game of 2017. I absolutely adored that game.
Oh yeah, and I loved watching you play through it.
When you're done with that, you ought to play Nier and let me play that game. I'll have my Switch back.
There we go.
Let's see. The game became a target of review bombing by Metacritic users, primarily for being an exclusive Switch game. That's where everyone's mad that Nintendo freaking paid to have it made, and they're review bombing it because it's only on Nintendo Switch.
Oh, and I think that's ridiculous because I wouldn't be surprised if eventually, it went to the PC or
you think
other
Nintendo's going to let that
platforms.
happen?
I don't know. Maybe.
Bayonetta
cool. did.
Yeah, Bayonetta did. 10 years later. Eventually it'll come out on the PC, but well, what other games are you looking forward to right now, Dee?
Oh, I'm really excited for I'm thinking about I'm really excited for Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm excited for that. I'm also excited for the Ni no Kuni, the first one.
Getting released on PC or Switch?
It's on Switch, and it's going to be on Switch, and it's going to be remastered.
Oh, cool.
So I'm excited for that because that's one game I really wish I had finished.
Yeah.
So I want to try it out because it's just that's like watching a Studio Ghibli
What about
movie.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely a cool game. I think it kind of got bogged down with party management later on, if I remember right.
A little bit, yeah.
What about is the remaster just graphics updates, or are they actually tweaking the gameplay, or have you heard?
I haven't
I'll
heard.
have to look into that one. What about the Link's Awakening? Are you interested in that one?
I'm kind of interested in it.
Yeah.
It seems like something more that you would play
Yeah, I
than
might.
me.
I need to get I'll have to borrow your capture card when I do that because I don't have one right now.
Of course you can.
Well, I think that's all the time we have for this week. Anything else you want to add about Astral Chain? Or have we covered it pretty well?
I think we covered it. I would definitely give it a try, guys. It's just enjoyable, and as Crank said, it's not going to be like too much of a bogged down game where you're thinking, I'm going to have to play this for 50 to 100 hours to actually get the story out of
Right.
it. I think somebody would have a really just good time playing it.
Well, Dee, if somebody wants to come watch you stream Astral Chain this week, where can they find you?
They can find me at twitch.tv/TheSunnyD.
And you're also on the Twitters, I think.
Yes, at the Sunny D. And I guess I should say it's DEE at the end.
Yeah, the Sunny.
I started thinking about that.
Yeah. Spoiler alert: her real name is Deanna, so her nickname is Dee.
You're not supposed to tell anybody that, Crank.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Her last name is Smash. Cranky Smash. Well, Dee, thank you for being here, and we will see everybody next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.